24/7, 365. The fantasy season never dies. Welcome to Every Day is Draft Day. Presented by Champions Round.
What is up, everyone? Happy Monday. By the time you are seeing this, I am your host, Stephie Smalls. This is my co-host, Eagle Dan FF. We are back with another Every Day is Draft Day Mailbag episode. Daniel, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Having a great week. Hopefully it'll be a great weekend. By the time everyone sees this, I'm ready to go. Answer some questions. Help people win their leagues.
How do you feel about Eagles Titans since we're going to be doing this before it comes out? What do you think?
I think it's going to be a good game. I think the Titans are going to have kind of the same game plan that Washington used to beat us. So hopefully we make that adjustment. Obviously, it's going to run through Derrick Henry. If we can stop him, we'll probably win. If we can't, we won't.
Yeah, it should be a big boy Henry game. All right, let's get into these questions. We'll start with the first one, which is from Dave Kluge at Dave Kluge on Twitter over at Football Guys. He asks, how would you rank the top 5 Wookie wide receivers, rookie wide receivers at this point, which is an interesting question because who knows if we even have the same top 5? We may not have the same top 5. Right. So I'll let you go first.
Okay.
Top 5. Right. I don't know if I necessarily need to rank. I feel like a few of them are at the same tier in my head. Yeah.
So here's my top 5, regardless of how many games they played and whatever. So Chris Olave would be 1.
Yes.
Garrett Wilson's 2. Mm-hmm. George Pickens is 3.
Okay.
Treylon Burks is 4. And see, 5's tough. And I'd go with Drake London as 5.
Okay, so you do not like Christian Watson, huh?
I do.
Okay.
But he's only done it in like 1-2 games?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So body of work has to be taken into account at this point. So London has been doing it pretty much all year when Atlanta has decided to throw the ball. But Christian Watson would be 6th if we did a top 6. So he's right there.
This is where I'm at.
Okay, go ahead.
Christian Olave, I think, is the clear one here. Like, especially with the fact that he's playing with Red Rocket, like, he is 100%, like, he's wide receiver 15 in fantasy with the Red Rocket. Like, we are clearly putting Chris Olave clear number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Wilson, I'm with you. I would probably put him at 2. Interesting, though, because Garrett Wilson is a little polarizing to me. Because I think that George Pickens, I would consider making an argument for here, but that feels a little too high. Christian Watson, I'll give him number 3. He just doesn't do. No, Pickens is definitely next. I want to put Wilson and Pickens in the same category.
Okay, just mash up. Okay. We're gonna break the rules. Wilson.
Yes. I'm not answering your fucking question. It's my show, so I'm answering how I want to.
We'll do what we want.
Yes, exactly. Christian Watson, right? Yeah, exactly. Christian Watson would be next. He's scoring on nearly 30% of his touches. Great, love it. Like he doesn't even need to do much to just get in the end zone every 45 seconds, which is fantastic. Mm-hmm. Drake London, I'm with you. It sucks because I don't think this is his fault. So I think if he was playing on a different team, different quarterback, we'd be ranking him definitely higher. He's averaging 4.3 targets a game since week 7. None of this is really like his fault either. Mariota's just kind of stinky. He's not even stinky. It's not working over there. Arthur Smith, I don't know. It's just not happening over there. Like things are not exciting. We're not excited about it. Unless you're a running back, I'm not really excited about what's going on over there. Okay, and then Treylon Burks would be next for me, I think. But I want to do an honorable mention of Wan'Dale Robinson because I think if he didn't get hurt, we would be like talking about him right now too. Because that game that he got hurt, like he was right there. Like that was his rookie breakout and it was just about to happen and then he got hurt. So I will give a little bit of an honorable mention to Wan'Dale because I think he deserves it. Is that fair?
I agree. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
He'd definitely be good if it was one used all year and he was healthy all year. He'd definitely be in the competition.
I don't really know what the Giants are doing game. Like, I don't think I'm sold on Kafka. And I don't know if that's a hot take or not. Like, I don't really like what he's doing at all.
I don't think so. I think you can, be happy with, the record and showing the improvement by still, looking to see that there are some issues that need to be fixed.
Yes. Okay. This next question is really fun.
All right.
Okay, this comes from @RariRex. I think I said that right. This is Rory. Yeah. He is fantastic on Twitter. Great follow, especially if you're into the NBA. Check him out. He asks, if there were 100 NFL games in a season, tell me how many interceptions you think each of these quarterbacks would throw. Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. Justin Fields doesn't even throw the ball enough. So, like, I don't know. He's had 18 interceptions in 21 career starts.
So times 18 by 5, and that's what you'd get.
And I think you could do it to 20. Like, let's say 20. Let's move that up.
So
that's a lot of interceptions.
Times 5 would be 100. So he threw 100 interceptions.
That's a lot of interceptions. He would throw one a game. That is hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Russell Wilson. He would throw 2 million, I think. Probably. He would throw. He's had 5 this season in 10 games, which is actually better for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think 67 is a very fair amount.
Okay.
No.
Like I said 167, not 67.
Oh, 100. Yeah.
167
games. No, I don't want to watch Wilson that many games. How about that? I don't want to see that. I hope we don't have to.
How many games would you watch? The answer would be 0.
Oh boy. And Kirk Cousins depends on how many primetime games you make me watch of it.
Well, let's say what? In 100 games, you probably get about 20 primetime games. So it's like 3 interceptions per primetime game.
He's had 9 and 11 games this season.
Okay, so it's more. So you'll probably get like 45 primetime games out of those 100. So you're looking at least 2 interceptions per primetime game.
Yeah.
So
he's had 131 career starts and he's had 100 interceptions. So we'd have just shy.
Yeah.
It'd be bad.
But you add in the extra ones from all the primetime games he played, so probably around like 130.
Yeah. Poor guy, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
It grows a lot.
Yeah. All right. Next question, which I think is interesting. This comes from DFS Danny UU. DFS Danny, great guy as well. He has 2 questions. So we'll answer, well, he has 3, but we're probably not answering, are you happy the McRib is back? No, I am not happy. I don't care about the McRib. I'm never consuming a McRib.
I am happy because I know a lot of people like the McRib. So the more people that are happy, the better.
That's so sweet. That is like the sweetest thing that I've ever heard you say. That's really nice.
It probably is the sweetest thing I've ever said.
Ever. Mm-hmm. I don't like McRibs. I don't know. I think it's kind of gross.
Not even on the show, just in general, in life.
In all of life. Your poor wife. Okay. The next question is, what is wrong with Gabe Davis? You want to go or do I want to go?
You can go first.
Okay, Gabe Davis was overhyped. This is what's wrong with Gabe Davis. Is like you guys all got excited off of his 4-touchdown game in the playoffs. Gabe Davis just looks. No, I'll tell you what's actually wrong, and I won't be dramatic. What's wrong is they're not using him in the right situations. Like they're just using him too much. He shouldn't be relied on the way that they're expecting. Like he is. The reason why you have Gabe Davis is like he's awesome for those impossible catches, deep ball type situation. He's a boring wide receiver outside of that. Like he looks slow. He's really just a deep threat guy. Like I can't believe how high people were drafting him.
Yeah. I think, coming off that playoff game where the last thing people saw was him eviscerating the Chiefs for like 5,000 yards. It really was expectations. I mean, he isn't doing like terrible. I think he's like wide receiver around like 28 or so for the year, but everyone was talking him up like he was going to be like wide receiver 5. So really expectations is the problem with Gabe Davis. Like you said it perfectly. Like the way they're using him isn't the way that he should be used correctly. They're using him as like a volume wide receiver too, which he isn't.
Yeah, and I hate that. I've seen the Giants do that over the years, how they just like misuse their wide receivers. And usually that ends in 2 things. They either drop all the balls and don't look great and people criticize them, or they end up getting hurt. So like those are the 2 ways. That's the 2 endings for Gabe Davis, unfortunately, which I don't wish an injury on him. But it's just not that. Because I think, you know what I think is going to happen is Gabe Davis is going to have another great playoff performance. Because that's when you can rely on him is to make big plays like downfield, like when you need that fantastic impossible catch type stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a lot of the game scripts that Buffalo has been in this year that hasn't really called for him like to do that. Like for the Chiefs game, like you needed that downfield, like hurry up and score, passing game because the Chiefs were hurry up and scoring just as much as you were. In most of the games this year, they aren't having to do that. So it kind of limits what he can do offensively.
Exactly. Okay. Next question. Same from DFS Danny. Okay.
All right.
Is Jelani Woods a dad? I can answer first. You want to answer? Go for it. Let it rip.
He's not. He is not a dad.
Hey.
He's not. We can't.
He's quite literally a dad. He's a 24-year-old rookie.
Okay, but that's not what the question is. No, he's not. Not yet. Not yet. I think we throw around the whole dad thing a lot. But unlike Greg Dulcich, which has proven it week to week, and Damian Pierce and other like actual dads, Jelani Woods has not done it consistently enough to earn the dad title, in my opinion. He's had he had a great week against Pitt. The 8 catches, 98 yards, but overall he hasn't been used enough in the offense to get to that status, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. I've always been a fan of him, like before he got hype after the combine. I just think he's such an athletic specimen and just such a big boy. And I love a big tight end like that can catch the ball. And I think that if they start to utilize him, like we could see him hold some fantasy value. Like if he's still available, like I have him on a lot of taxi squads because I don't think the Colts have had a really like meaningful tight end in a while that I've really cared a lot about. Mm-hmm. And I think that he could step into probably getting more work. But I don't know how much of that is like the Colts don't know what to do and they're just trying to like spread the ball around because they're trying to see the Colts are just trying to stay in games. Like they're trying to stay afloat. Like they're not really playing to win right now. So it's hard to tell, like, is he just getting volume because of the situation he's in this year? I just don't know if that carries over to next year.
Right. And then that's my thing. Like in terms of like talent, yeah, like he can be like that status, but in terms of how they're using him and how like the Colts offense in general is, like he just isn't there yet. Doesn't mean he can't get there. Like I'm not saying he's like untalented or is a bum or anything like that, but just as of right now, he isn't.
Yeah, dad is like we have to take the dad thing seriously.
We do. It's important now because that's our thing. So we can't just like throw it around to anybody that has a good game.
Yeah. Okay, we can do let's do one more off of here.
All right.
I'm gonna edit it a little bit because we're gonna send this out on Monday, but I think it can be modified enough. So it's from at FF Becca. Hello. Thank you for the question.
Hello.
We will take out the this week part. So what is Deshaun Watson's ceiling and floor? Is he startable over Brady in season long?
Yes, he is. Because Deshaun Watson's ceiling, we've seen. He's been a top 5 fantasy QB in Houston. Not only in Houston, there are obviously caveats. He hasn't played in a million years. But this is the most talented offense he's ever been a part of, in my opinion, with the running backs and
I agree.
And especially the offensive line that will give him time.
It will take like just the talent around him.
Right, exactly, Njoku. It will take a couple of weeks for him to get acclimated back to the speed of the game because he hasn't played in like 700 days or some ridiculous stat like that. But once he gets his feet back under him, I expect him to get back to that top 10 QB form that he exhibited in Houston. So to answer the question, yes. I think, give him like a week. I don't see him doing it this week. I expect him to have a lot of rest. But, for the playoffs, I would trust him to lead my team.
And here's my thing is he is getting such a nice, like, welcome back. You're playing one of the worst team in the fucking league. Like, I don't even know how much rust you can have playing against the Texans. But I agree. I think that he has his best supporting cast that he's ever had, and he was able to be so effective in fantasy prior with not as great of a cast and not in a great system. I'm not saying Cleveland is a fantastic system, but a little bit sharper than what's going on over there in Houston. The Browns don't have a great schedule remaining. I don't know what Tampa Bay is, but I think that anytime you have these very athletic, mobile type Deshaun Watson kind of guys, Tom Brady is just getting older, and like he hasn't looked that great this year.
No, he has not.
He hasn't.
And Jacoby Brissett has looked pretty solid in Tampa. So not in Tampa, in Cleveland. So if Watson can get work like the Kings out, I expect them to do at least as well, if not better, than what Brissett has shown throughout the year.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, before we do the last question, we are doing a giveaway this week.
Woo, giveaways.
Woohoo!
We
are giving away a signed DeAndre Swift jersey. And this can be yours if you reply in the comments your prediction for his stat line this week, week 14, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And whoever has the closest response to Mr. Swift's stat line, which could very well end up being 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, you will be selected and we will send this to you. So, Dan, hit me with the last question and we will wrap this baby up.
All right. So last question is, all right, what do we make of the Bengals' recent surge? Feasting on bad teams or a good team starting to come together?
I'm going to let you start this one off because I'm torn. I've got torn feelings, Dan. It's not good.
I'm sorry about your torn feelings. You can sew them up and you'll feel better. I think that it's a team that had that Super Bowl hangover, but it's a good team that is coming together at the right time. Yeah. They're obviously still talented, even without Jamar Chase has been out with injury, but they still have T. Higgins, they still have Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst has done well. The offensive line, while not great, has been better the longer the season has come along. And the rest of your schedule, honestly, is really good in terms of teams they're facing in defenses. Like KC's defense isn't that great. Cleveland's defense is okay. Tampa Bay's defense is okay. Buffalo you can throw on.
Good.
Yeah. So, they have the schedule to, start getting into that playoff mindset. They had a really bad start to the year. They looked really terrible, to be honest. But, they've come around. Their offensive line is solidified. Joe Burrow has progressed. Joe Mixon has done really well in the past couple of weeks. So I really think they were a good team. The team made the Super Bowl last year, and it's not like they lost anyone like truly significant from either side.
They don't look like the Rams, who look like fucking dog shit.
The Rams are 2 and going to win 3 whole games and not have a first round pick until 20.
The Rams need to be suspended for a little bit. Like they need fucking help. I don't know how to help the Rams either.
Yeah, so
I think the Bengals are interesting. I think like they are getting hot at the right time. They have this. They're one of those teams that just has this swagger about them. And I think when Joe Burrow is confident and when Joe Burrow is standing upright and when Joe Burrow has a little bit of time, like he's able to produce. And they have guys like Boyd are very underrated. Like they have so many weapons over there, sneaky weapons over there. I think hopefully they get Mixon. Is he still injured or concussed? So, yeah. I think he's concussed or something. So they have all the pieces that they need there. I would love to see them like beat 2 of these bigger games that they kind of have coming up because I think they have some statement games. Like it's awesome that they're playing the Bills. I cannot wait for that game. Excited to see this game against the Chiefs. I kind of lean the Chiefs in that situation, actually. And I'd like to see what they do against a really good defense like the Patriots. But we've seen the Patriots defense actually have some flaws. We saw that against the Bills last night. But I think the Bengals are in a good spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
they're a team to beat.
Yeah, it's all like the top guys, like, the Bucks who have been good recently. They've fallen off a little bit, the Chiefs. The Bills, and then a bunch of division games, Ravens.
And the Ravens don't look good. I don't know what the Ravens are doing. The Ravens piss me off, quite frankly. I'm pissed off about the Ravens, and we'll end it on a rant. And let's talk about the Ravens really quick, and then we can wrap things up. Like, what are the Ravens doing? I'm losing my patience here. Like, what is going on that you guys are that not good? Like, I don't understand. And like, I love Lamar Jackson. I'm a huge Lamar Jackson supporter. I just think that he needs to find a wide receiver that he can have some type of chemistry with, because you can't rely on winning games strictly off of you just like having 90 plus rushing yards every game. Like it's not going to work every time. Did they just lose to the Carolina Panthers? Like what's going on?
They lost.
No, not the Panthers.
The Jaguars.
Jaguar, the same color, same freaking animal. I don't know, whatever. They lost to one of the Cats, but still, that's not any more impressive. That's right. They had the fourth quarter drive and then the 2-point conversion because Doug Peterson took his big balls out. I love it. But yeah, the Ravens, like, you have the talent. It's surprising to me that they can't figure it out. What is going on?
I mean, I think it's it's a little bit understated, but like the fact that Lamar can't keep being the number one rusher on the team for them this season. The loss of Bateman and any really credible receiving threat besides Mark Andrews, there's nothing on the outside that scares anybody. So I think that's like an issue too. Is that
we got like this Isaiah Likely tease for a little bit, and then it kind of just like
petered out,
whatever kind of thing. Yeah. So I hope the Ravens get a little bit. The league is so much more fun to watch when the Ravens are good. So I would prefer that they start trending that way instead of the other direction, which they are doing currently. Right.
And, their schedule is pretty decent. I mean, they have the Broncos, who are terrible. Yeah, Steelers, Browns, Falcons. Yeah, Steelers again. So they have a bunch of very, very, very winnable games coming.
Yeah. That's why I had stashed in one league the Baltimore Ravens defense like a couple weeks ago, which I never stash defenses. Like, that's not a thing I do. It's weird. Like, you're not even supposed to do that. This is not advice. Like, please do not do this at home.
Not advice.
Like, this is not advice. It's just, I do weird shit when I'm in like these high stake leagues. I'm like, I looked at the Ravens schedule and I was like, this is an awesome defense. It's an awesome defense to pick up. Look at their schedule. They could totally like destroy all these teams. Now I'm getting nervous. Like, why did I do that? I'm like, I don't even know why I did that. That was so stupid because I don't even know if they're going to end up being that good. So they're in a good spot. I'm waiting for them to get hot, but I'm sick of waiting. So figure it out. Get it together. I hope next time we're on this show, we can talk about the Ravens and how good they look. But we'll wrap it up on that note. Please get better, Ravens. Remember, if you want to win this, reply what you think his stat line is going to be week 4 in the comments. Subscribe to our channel. And whoever's the closest to that stat line, we will send it to you. As always, I am Stephie Smalls. This is Eagle Dan FF. If you enjoyed this show, subscribe, like, leave us a comment, and we'll catch you next week. See you guys.
See you guys.